In this video, the part 10 of my CSS Pseudo Classes Explained series, I'll be simplifying the is pseudo class. The is class takes a list of selector arguments and matches all elements in the DOM that applies to any selector in that list. So this class would allow you to specify different selectors as arguments, and it will select any element in the DOM that is a match of any of the selectors. I'll be using this simple example here to explain how this pseudo class works. This is the HTML for it. I have a section tag and a p tag child or child tag. I have a div, then a p inside, an article, then a p inside, a span, then a p inside, and this is the styles for it. So by using the comma, I'm able to specify different selectors and apply styles on all of them, which you can see here. Now, how do we replace all of this, or how do we declare this differently with the is pseudo class? Well, right here I can have the is pseudo class, and like I said, it takes a list of selector arguments. So I can specify different selectors here. I can specify a class selector, a div selector, an attribute selector, even a pseudo class selector. So I'm going to clear all of this, and I'm just going to specify these tag name selectors here. So the section tag name, comma, the div tag name, the article tag name, the span tag name, and then I'm just going to copy and paste these styles here, and I can comment this. So you can see this is the list of selector arguments, and any element in the DOM here that matches any of the arguments that we have specified, these styles will be applied on them. Of course, this section element is going to match this one. This div is going to match this one, as well as the article and the span. So when you go back and you refresh, you can see the same styles are applied, just like we did differently with this. So if you can do this, then why do you need to use the is to do this? Well, with the is pseudo class, you can do even more advanced selections. So let's say we want to do this. I'm going to uncomment this back, and then we want to select the p tag that is a descendant of the section tag, p tag that is descendant of div child, p tag that is descendant of article tag, p tag that is descendant of span tag, and then we want to apply some styles on this. I'm going to comment this, and let's say I give this font width of bold and a color of green. So we want to style all of these p tags with this. If I come back here and I refresh, you can see the paragraphs are now green. How do we improve this with the is pseudo class? Well, I can come here, and since I have already passed this list of arguments to the is pseudo class, I can simply declare a p tag at the end like this. So this means it's going to match any p tag that is a descendant of a section, or p tag that is a descendant of div, or p tag that is a descendant of article, or p tag that is a descendant of span, which are the selectors I've passed as arguments here. So if I take this from here and I bring it down here and I comment this part here, or comment everything here, if I come here and I refresh, oops, something is wrong. Yeah, I knew something was wrong. Yeah, I didn't comment it well. So I'm just going to take this comment to the beginning here and take this one to the end here. Oh, good. Syntax is correct now. If I come back here and I refresh, you can see these are now green. So by using the is pseudo class, I'm able to pass a list of selectors, and then I can match the p descendants of any of them, and any of it that applies to the elements in the DOM, they are going to be selected and styled. Like I said, you can do even more advanced stuff. So let me show you another example. I'm going to take all of this. Let's say I come back here and I have a button, and this button says click me. I'm going to also comment all of this. And then here in the CSS, I want to match the button when it is on hover. I want to match the button when it is active, and I want to match the button when it is on focus. And I want to apply a border of 2 pixels, solid, what color? Let's say purple, and a color of yellow. Just some weird combinations. If I come here and I refresh, you can see when I hover, we have this. When I click on it and it is active, you can see we have this. And also when I focus on it by pressing my tab key, you can see the styles apply. How do we improve this with the is pseudo class? Well, simply we can say button, then the is pseudo class, and like I said, the is pseudo class takes different types of selector arguments. So we can also use pseudo class selectors, and I can say hover, or active, or focus, which means if the button is ever in a hover pseudo class, or active pseudo class, or focus pseudo class, then we apply these styles here. So I'm going to bring it here and I apply this here, and I'm going to take this off like this. If I come back here and I refresh, slash, look at hover. If I click on it, which is active, you can see it's also like that. And if I press tab on it again, you can see the styles also apply. So with the Pseudo class, you can actually do a number of things, but the one thing you cannot do with the Pseudo class is that you cannot use pseudo element selectors like after and whatever. You can only use this with other types of selectors. I have a different video where I explain the different CSS selector types. I'm going to share a link to that in the video description so you can check it out and you can see the different selector types you can apply with this class. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe, and also turn on notifications for more pseudo classes I'll be explaining in this series.